I don't have enough time in the day. No matter how hard I look, I can't read, work out, start that side hustle job that I've been wanting to. I just feel overwhelmed, not productive at all. Well, with this productivity method, that all goes out the window. You can kick your ass into gear to get productive, get out of your own way, and start this today. Hello beautiful, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Caitlin if you are new here. A few months ago, I was feeling really overwhelmed on both a personal and professional level. I felt like I wasn't having time to do the things that I actually wanted to do. And I didn't really feel like I had the tools in my bullet journal in that moment to help support the productivity level that I wanted in accomplishing my day-to-day goals, but also things like yearly and monthly goals as well. That is when I started block scheduling. Fast forward to today, I don't think I'm going to find a productivity system that works as well as this does, making me keep accountable in a healthy, guilt-free way. First question, what is block scheduling? Well, it is just basically a way of categorizing your life into different blocks or sections. Wherever you are throughout the day, you should know exactly what you should be doing, so this avoids issues like decision fatigue or jumping around from task to task, so you can't really ever get into a good momentum of getting that task done. If you do suffer from decision fatigue like I do, this puts all of the decision-making power at the beginning of the day, so you don't necessarily have to waste energy, waste brain power on picking what to do next throughout the day. And this helps accomplish your goals. So how to get started? Well, this is really easy to implement and you can start it today. So go down into the description box and download the PDF that I have there of 3 different pages. We're going to be working through the categories, ideal weekly, and an ideal day for this next step. First things first is the categories page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my life and see what common elements that I have. Things like cleaning, work, studying if you're a student, maybe you have a side hustle you'd like to work on as well, family time, anything else categorizing you can see in your day-to-day life, you're gonna wanna group that in. Underneath my cleaning section, I'm gonna write down everything that accounts to cleaning. Dusting, vacuuming, sweeping, doing the laundry, dishes, all of those things are going to get written down. Here is just what an example of my life looks like, category-based, filled out. We're gonna be coming back to these examples in a little bit, so just hang tight. One thing that I do wanna note about the categories is that you can put them into subsections. So things like work, you might divide your day into things like administrative tasks, finances, maybe you are a project manager or you have escalation cases. All of those things could get done for your work during work day. Using these categories, we're gonna come up with what I'll call our ideal day or ideal weekly. These are ideal, okay? They are not supposed to be what happens every single week or every single day. So keep that in mind when you're planning this out. Look at your categories and say what is going to be for sure blocked in at different times. Things like work might always be from 9 to 5. Things like lunch, dinner, breakfast, my morning routine, evening routine, those things are gonna probably be consistent throughout your day. Where you're gonna schedule in the different categories that change is up to you. Cleaning, family time, maybe working out could be a block for you as well. Those get scheduled into your ideal weekly and daily. If you have weeks that are pretty consistent looking, you can probably just fill out the daily sheet. If you have some weeks that look like mine, where they switch up all the time, you might wanna try out this weekly page instead. Keep in mind for the next part, you are not bound by these templates. They are guidelines. This is part of the experiment when you're getting to know this system. So how to actually implement the system, that is the next step. What I'm gonna show you today is 3 different styles that you can use based really on what your needs are. First up is the hourly system. Looking at the page really quick, we have it broken down into 4 columns on the left, 4 columns on the right, and then it's divided down the page vertically by the hour. Look at your ideal week and start making adjustments based on your life. Maybe Thursday you have a birthday party during that ideal me schedule time. Now you should be asking yourself, do I really need to switch that me time to a different part of the week? If you were my girlfriend, you would probably say yes. Caitlin, you do need alone time to function. So that would be a priority for me to switch around. If it's something that can be pushed off another week or another day, then that is okay, but make adjustments based on what's gonna suit your life. Every single block should be back to back. This helps avoid gaps, avoids that thinking of, should I really be doing something right now? Or what really should I be doing? No. That gets canceled out because it's filled in back to back. This method provides the most structure out of all of the block scheduling that I'm going to be showing you today. Why that's the case is because in that center column, it has 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. We're really confined to those working hours during the day. So if you have things like shift work, or maybe you don't have a consistent schedule every single day, you wake up late, work late, whatever the case may be, then here's a perfect example for you. Block layouts. Instead of blocking it out hourly, what I'm going to be doing is putting in 6 equal boxes from the top to bottom of the page. These sides are still the same, where I have 3 boxes and then 4 boxes. The only difference is now on that side column, I have things like top tasks or goals that I want to get done, and a note section just to keep me on track as well. Within each block, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down exactly what I want to get done for that day. So I might start off my first block from 7 to 9. That is going to be my morning routine. Things like getting up, getting breakfast, maybe reading, walking the dog, whatever happens consistently during my morning routine block. Something else that I might have going on the next morning is I might wake up really early because I have a 5 a.m. shift. So that now gets shuffled around. My morning routine is bumped to 3 to 5. Or maybe if you don't want to wake up that early, that would be me in this case, I just might get up and forego that morning routine for those 2 hours and just go straight to work. When planning out my day, I'm also keeping note of that side column where my goals are. That is going to help me keep productive on things like assignments if I'm in school, project management things for work. If I am trying to start that side hustle, I'm going to be able to insert certain time blocks within my week or my day to make sure that those goals are getting accomplished. This layout provides medium structure and medium flexibility. So maybe these blocks aren't actually big enough for you to write down what's going to be going on during that day. What to get around this is my personal favorite, at least, and that is the open layout. After experimenting for a couple of months, I found that this works the best for me. I actually set this up in my August plan with me, so if you're interested in seeing how to do that, make sure to go check out that video. I personally like having a lot of room, so I just had 2 days on one page. This is gonna help me write out everything that I wanna get done. At the top of my box here, I'm going to write out things that I would like to accomplish during that day. Goals for both business, for my personal life, other type of tasks, any reminders, things like that. After that, I'm coming in and I'm using my block scheduling, but what I do is very similar actually to that block method. I just have a lot more room to write out what I want to get done during that day. I personally like to have a little bonus or note section down at the bottom for things that I accomplished that weren't on my list, and this method lets me do it versus the other 2. I really want you to excel at this system, so I have 5 different tips for you to help that. Number 1, I would recommend scheduling your blocks from 1.5 hours to 3 hours. That is where your brain is actually most productive. You can get enough into a routine and into the groove of doing a task, but not run out of brain power by the time the 3-hour mark comes along. You are more than welcome to try varying the different times. This is what I found has worked best for me. Tip number 2, plan out everything. That includes things like eating, sleeping, especially in the beginning, because what you're gonna find is if there are gaps in between, your brain can wander, it can get distracted really easily, and you might find yourself scrolling on your phone for a while. Number 3 is going to do with reminders. So I set timers in the beginning. I still do this now when I really want that productive day to help remind me when my block schedulings are done. If you are the person who presses snooze on your phone, move that phone out of the room if you can. If you can't do that because you need to be on your phone for whatever reason, go set that timer on the microwave or the oven, and that will help you get around that issue. Tip number 4, different stages of your life are going to affect the way that you plan. As a student, I am going to be controlled by my student schedule, things like classes, group assignments. So I'm going to need to keep that in mind when planning my life out. As a business person, I could be controlled by phone calls or meetings with clients. That is going to have to be scheduled out in there as well. Tip number 5, this is the last one, and I think it's the most important. This is going to be an experiment. You are going to be learning the system. You are not going to get it perfect right off of the bat. You might run into things like bumping your schedule where you need to push a couple hours back. You might figure out that you actually are getting things accomplished faster than the time that you allotted. This is going to take a little bit of adjusting over the next little bit to really try and figure out how quickly you can get things done. Are you overestimating or underestimating? This is an experiment. If you are curious how I handle things like bumping and what I do when I finish early, check out my blog post down in the description box because I walk into further detail about that. But that is it. Overall, this has really helped with me planning. It is so quick and easy to implement into your life, and you're gonna notice a productivity difference within the first week for sure. I know my productivity levels skyrocketed from there. If you haven't already seen my studio vlog, I'll have that link just right here. This is where I walk through how I use block scheduling in a week in my life. I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!